We're now going to cover use cases for anonymous functions. So we just learned how to declare anonymous functions, but we didn't see any practical use cases for them. In this video, we're going to see a specific case, and that is how to sort a list of strings by the second character. Okay, so take this list of strings over here, banana, strawberry, orange, and apple, and we'll pass it to the sorted function, which returns a list in sorted order. So A comes first, then banana, orange, and strawberry. So that's what we expect. Now, this sorted function, if we look inside here, Shift Tab Tab, there's this key parameter. We have not talked about this. This is what you can use if you want some non-natural ordering. So you want to have a different way of sorting than what is the natural ordering. So when I say the natural ordering, that is just the normal Unicode code point ordering going from left to right. So it compares all of the characters one at a time, starting at the beginning, A with all the first ones, and that's how it figures out apple is first, and so forth. So you can change this ordering to be whatever you want. So that's pretty cool. You can order it by the second character, by the third character, by the length of the string, by some other fancy mechanism. You can do that with this key parameter. And what you do with this key parameter is that you pass it in a function. You pass it a function, and that function will calculate how the sorting happens. All right, so let's go down here, and we're going to create a function called second letter. It's going to be a very simple function. It's going to take in a string, and it's going to return just the second letter of the word like this. Okay, so if we do second letter and we pass it in, say, let's do this string list. Let's pass it in the first string over here, which is banana. So it'll return A. We pass it in strawberry. That's the second one that has index 1. It'll be T, and so forth. So you can see that's a very simple function and how it works. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this function in to the key parameter. If I press Shift Tab Tab, you can see that key is it's a keyword only, so I have to use key equals second letter like this. And now what will happen is that for every item in the list, it will be passed to this second letter function. So banana will be passed there, and the value A will be returned, strawberry T, orange R, and apple P, and it will use that to sort it. That's how it will sort it. So let's go ahead and run this, and you can see here now it's sorting by the second letter, so A, P, R, and then T, like that. So it changes the order of the natural ordering to use this second letter function that we just defined. Now this is all well and good, but instead of defining a whole function like this, we can use an anonymous function because it's so simple and just save us some lines of code. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this down here, and we're going to use an anonymous function instead over here. So I'm going to say lambda. Basically, I'm just going to convert this into an anonymous function. So it's very simple, but just so that we can see it, I'm going to convert this. I'm going to say lambda over here. I'm going to get rid of the name. I'm going to get rid of the parentheses. And I'm going to get rid of the return statement. And then I will put it all in one line. So that is the function I want to create. I'm just going to copy and paste it over here. So now I'm passing it in this anonymous function. So I don't have to declare it beforehand, and it will work the same way. So for every item in the list, it'll pass it into this function. So this function gets called 4 times. So the parameter word will take on each of one of these strings. It will grab the second, it'll select the second character and return that and use that for the sorting. So this is one use case for an anonymous function. It doesn't provide any additional functionality to Python. It just shortens up some of the syntax. And you can only use anonymous functions whenever you have a short function that has only one line of code in it, and sort of like list comprehensions that shorten up the syntax for creating lists and make it a little bit nicer and easier to read. Anonymous functions do a similar task. Now, if you don't want to use anonymous function if it's too complex, you have a bunch of parameters over here and a very long one line of code. It might be better to write a normal function and then just to break up that one line of code into multiple lines. So again, you need to think about readability and understanding of the code. Don't just use anonymous functions just because you can. But this is a good use case. The body of the function is very simple, and so this does save some code and, in my opinion, make it a little bit nicer. Okay, so that is one use case for anonymous functions.